Hi everyone, you're now watching CGTN live stream. I'm Dai Kaiyi, and we're coming to you live in the city of Wuhan. We're actually, right now, more precisely speaking, we're at the Wuhan International Expo Center. And today I'm going to take you guys to an exhibition that's going to walk us through what China's been through over the past decades or so in terms of its space exploration. Right behind me is the venue we're going to go into, but before we go into it, just a little background information for reference on the topic. So April 24th every year, China's going to hold its Space Day, and tomorrow will be the 9th Space Day of China. And this year, the city of Wuhan is chosen to be the main venue. Why is it called the main venue? Well, it's because it's a national thing. It does not just happen in Wuhan in one city. All across China, we're going to see about around 500 activities, including popular science lectures, knowledge contests, exchanges and discussions, as well as Space Open Day, so on and so forth. We're going to see all of that happening tomorrow all across China. And according to officials from the China National Space Administration, in a previous press conference, the main event in Wuhan would display to the world the impressive achievements that China has accomplished in terms of its space exploration last year, and also giving a glimpse, offering clues about exciting future plans of its ambitious quest to explore the universe. And as you can see right up there at this poster, at April 24th this year, China will hold the first Space Cooperation Forum with Latin American and Caribbean countries as well. Officials, academicians, experts from governmental entities and Chinese Academy of Sciences, universities, and space enterprises, as well as foreign guests from some 50 countries and regions and international organizations will participate in those events. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right in. As you can see here is another name, and this is actually the entrance of the exhibition hall we're going to go into today. It's purely in Chinese, but you can roughly translate it into the Space of China, Space Day of China Educational Exhibition in the year of 2024. Okay, and here, as we can see, here is a brief introduction here. Basically, it talks about how starting from 1956, China's space industry started from scratch, from the first launch vehicle rising straight from the ground to the first man-made satellite being successfully launched, from the first communication broadcast satellite to the first meteorological satellite. So there's been countless breakthroughs that have actually carried the perseverance and tenacity of the people in space community, and to pave the way, of course, for the magnificent journey of China space industry, and born the dream and hope of the Chinese people to explore the cosmos. Really inspiring. Here you can see that this is the first ever objects we're going to see at this exhibition. This is actually Long March 1. It's a launch vehicle. And right next to this Long March 1, we see the Dongfanghong 1 satellite, which is this round-shaped object. Was successfully launched from China's Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center on April 24th, 1970. And China became the 5th country to independently develop and launch man-made Earth satellite in the world. So that actually gives you a sense of why China chose April 24th as its Space Day since 2016, because it marks the launch of its first satellite, Dongfanghong 1, into space. And if I can just have my cameraman pan over to here, we can see the People's Daily. They actually wrote their headlines that day. China's first ever satellite that was successfully launched into space, and this is quite historical, even though it's purely in Chinese, but it's a very historical event for China for its journey to explore the universe. And here you can see the music player that was carried by the Dongfanghong 1 satellite. So it actually plays music. This Dongfang Hong, it's actually a very well-known song in China. And they actually play that music in the space. Okay, let's move on to our next. Here, as you can see, the promotional video of the Space Day of China this year. And here, I think it's called space technology. Space technology, this area is mainly introducing China's lunar probe mission. This one here, as you can see, is the first lunar rover. So China has continually improved the capacity and performance of its space transport system and moved faster to upgrade launch vehicles. A national civil service infrastructure with satellite remote sensing, communication, navigation as the main body have taken shape. The manned space program has entered the phase of space station application and development. The three-step strategy of orbiting, landing, and returning of the first, second, and third stages of the lunar exploration program has been successfully completed, and the fourth stage is currently underway. Here are all very symbolic models for China's lunar probe missions. It actually marks how China, it tells you in a very direct way how China started from scratch, one step after another, from the very first lunar rover to more advanced models later on. And here we can see this. This is actually the lunar sample encapsulation tank. I think it's the tank we just saw. Here, fabric national flag carried on Chang'e 5 re-entry capsule, and it's the material object. It's not just a model; it's the material object. So for lunar exploration program in China, in the outline of National Medium and Long-Term Development Plan for Science and Technology issued in February 2006, the State Council specifically determined the lunar exploration program as one of the 16 major national scientific and technological projects. And this one, this is also a real thing. It's called a Chang'e 5 re-entry capsule. And right behind it, it's the main parachute of Chang'e 5 re-entry capsule. So they're all real. They were not replicated. And it's very rare, I think, for aerospace fans to see real objects. So it's a great opportunity. The Space Day of China, the annual event. And here, we actually can see right from the Chang'e 1 to the latest model, and this one, Chang'e 1, it says it entered the lunar orbit on November 5th, 2007, successfully completed its flight around the moon and obtained the first global image of the moon, which is a breakthrough in China's lunar exploration and the third milestone in the history of China's space industry after the success in man-made Earth satellite and manned space flight. In here, the Chang'e 2, this is actually the lunar exploration route with this asteroid Totatus. Looks like to me, it looks like a ginger, right? Chang'e 2 entered the lunar orbit on October 6, 2010. It surveyed the sinus iridum, the pre-selected landing area of the Chang'e 3 probe, obtained a global image of the moon with the world's highest resolution of 7 meters, successfully circled the Sun-Earth lag range point L2, and completed a successful flyby of the asteroid Totatus for observation. Let's move on to Chang'e 3. This is a lunar roving route of Yutu lunar rover. Its discovery, some of its new discoveries. So as you get, I think Chang'e 1 was launched in 2007, and the second one, Chang'e 2, 2010 and 2013. So every 2 or 3 years, they're going to launch a new spacecraft, I think. Chang'e 4, it softly touched down the one Kármán crater in the South Pole Aitken Basin on the far side of the moon on January 3rd, 2019, realizing the first soft landing in patrol and exploration of human spacecraft on the far side of the moon, and the first relay communication between the far side of the moon and the Earth. The landing site of the Chang'e 4 probe has been named Station Tianhe, which is the first man-made mark on the far side of the moon. And this is actually the photos that's been taken by Chang'e 4. Really remarkable. Okay, let's move on to the fifth one. Here we got the structure of Chang'e 5, the ascender, lander, re-entry capsule, orbiter. Oh yeah, for Chang'e 5, it actually marks that the three-step strategy of orbiting, landing, and returning of China's lunar exploration program marks a perfect completion of that three-step strategy, I should say. Here is the Chang'e site -Y. Is a new mineral material discovered on the moon. In Chinese, it's called Chang'e Shi. So as you can see, China really is good at naming things based on its own history, historical relics. This one is called Chueqiao 2. It's a relay satellite that has become the world's second dedicated relay satellite beyond the Earth orbit after the Chueqiao relay satellite, which provides support of the Chang'e 6 lunar sample return mission and replaces Chueqiao relay satellite to provide relay communication services for Chang'e 4. Okay. As you can see, the ground, it's also, it's pretty much like the ground on the moon. In here, I think this is a virtual reality kind of experiencing. It helps you to experience what it really feels like to be on the moon. So I've never been to the moon, but so I'm gonna just give it a shot, and you can probably see it in real time, right? Oh, here. Hey there. Okay. Okay, he's not waving back. And right up there, you can see the Earth. It's a pretty immersive experience, I would say, because, you know, we may see so many movies portraying, you know, scenes on the moon, on outer space, but perhaps very rarely you would try that on a virtual reality glasses. I highly recommend you to try this. It's a VR scene for future lunar exploration. Okay, so after all those introductions, I think they finally gave us something that we can truly experience. And here, as I can tell, is a table, is a sand table. It's a sand table, and it says it's a future lunar research station. Here is an operation desk. Let me see. Oh, it can move. Wow, the operation desk really moves. Okay, it's a panoramic tour. We can really see here some of the energy center, space, leisure center. Oh, it actually has very precise, very detailed introduction about each and every center, what they're for, their functions. So I think really it's it's something that can really help you to understand and have a full picture of what a lunar, as they called it, it's a research station, what it looks like. This is probably something that human beings are going to live in, I don't know, in a few decades, hopefully, right? Okay, there's actually so many things that we can talk about here. So the Space Day for China is right now is not just a date to mark its first ever satellite launch. It has become a platform for the country to reach out to the world with openness and sincerity, of course, to boost international cooperation in the space domain. This year's Space Day of China will include the first ever China Latin American and Caribbean countries Space Cooperation Forum, as I just mentioned at the start of this live stream, and release the Wuhan Declaration. So here's definitely a lot to expect at the coming event. Oh, and here, this one is called EVA spacesuit for taikonaut. So EVA, as I understand, it's called extravehicular activity. It's actually a spacesuit that taikonaut would wear when they go outside the cabin in the space. So, as you can see, they have different spacesuits, right? For different kind of tasks. When they're in the cabin, they have a different types of spacesuit. So, for China's manned space program, actually in September 1992, Chinese government made its decision to implement the manned space program and prescribe the three-step strategy of development. So it's divided into three steps. I'm not gonna go into details, but China's space station, as you can see here, the core module of space station, it was fully completed in the end of 2022. The program immediately entered the phase of application development, and the three-step strategy of the manned space program was fully realized while carefully organizing and implementing various missions in the phase of space station application development. China aims to achieve its first landing on the moon by 2030. That's just 5 or 6 years from now. And the development and construction of various missions in the lunar landing phase. Here, we're inside the core module of space station. Here, I believe, is their bed. This is where taikonaut sleeps. In here, this is, I don't know, this is probably a treadmill. I don't know, it looks like a treadmill to me. This is actually the first time we're into it. It's in Chinese, but this one is called a water dispenser. For taikonaut, this is a food refrigerator. It's a food fridge. So it's definitely different from our apartments, right? And I believe this is their working desk. Instead of they're sitting in front of a table, I think they're actually standing while typing. All looks a little different. These are all look like body training, some of the body training facilities. Be careful. It's a bit too crowded. Too many viewers are here. This is a pumpkin. It actually it writes 中国航天, China's space. I think it's probably a pumpkin that was planted on the moon or something. I don't know. It's actually all kinds of vegetables that they planted purely for research purposes. Oh, actually, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, now here, this is what I talked about a minute ago. This is the IVA, or intravehicular spacesuit for astronaut. To be honest, I can't really tell the difference with that extra vehicular ones, but they all look cool. I probably need a bigger one. I don't know. Okay. Here, I think this is a satellite communication system. The Beidou navigation satellite system. So in the late 20th century, China began to explore the development path of satellite navigation systems suited to its national conditions and gradually formed a three-step strategy. There are so many three-step strategies. In the end of 2000, BDS-1 was completed. To provide services at the end of 2012, and BDS-2 was completed to provide services for the Asia-Pacific region, and in 2020, the third version of that was completed to provide services. And this, right now you're looking at, and our planet Earth was covered all over by all types of satellites. It truly looks stunning. Moving on to this one, that's high resolution Earth observation system. In Chinese, it's called 高分辨率对地观测系统. The major special project for high resolution Earth observation system is one of the 16 national science and technology major projects determined in the outline of the National Medium and Long-Term Development Plan for Science and Technology, which was started and implemented in 2010, is a strategic deployment for building China's strength in science and technology and aerospace. It's also a strategic measure to master the autonomy of information resources from a spatial information industry chain and promote the development of this digital economy and the construction of national geological civilization. Is actually quite big, and there's so many things to look at, so I'm afraid we cannot really go into the details of each and every object. Here are some of the Galvin models, satellite models. That's the third one, the second, and the first. And they actually all belong to space application. They fall under the space application category. Okay, I think that's that. Here, we actually got what is a planetary exploration. So aside from the moon, there's some other projects that's been going on. And this, I believe, is one of them. So China's planetary exploration missions are named Tianwen series. If you translate it into English directly, it's asking the sky. And adopt the Mars icon as a geographical symbol of the program. The first Mars exploration mission was named Tianwen-1, and the subsequent planetary exploration missions were numbered in turn. And Tianwen stands from a long poem written by a great Chinese poet named Qu Yuan, which expresses the tenacity and perseverance of the Chinese nation in the pursuit of truth and embodies the cultural inheritance of nature in space exploration and implies the long journey of search for scientific truth in the endless pursuit of scientific and technological innovation. And this Tianwen-1 probe landed on Mars on May 15, 2021, and the Zhurong rover carried out patrol and exploration on May 22nd. The Mars exploration is the first mission of China's major program of planetary exploration, which will be followed by asteroid exploration and Mars sample return. And as we can see right over there is the space technology, the space transportation system. Here is what we're going to see. We see all types of Long March vehicles. So the model series of launch vehicles in China has been continuously improved and evolved. The Long March launch vehicles are being upgraded towards non-toxic and pollution-free launch. China now provides a variety of launch vehicle services. It'll continue to strengthen research into key technologies for reusable space transport systems and conduct test flights accordingly. So China will develop new rocket engines, combined cycle propulsion and upper stage technologies to improve its capacity to enter and return from space and make space entry and exit more efficient. Again, for those who are tuning in, who are watching, whether you're tuning in from Facebook, Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, Weibo, WeChat, CGTN.com or CGTN app, a warm welcome to all of you. We're right now at the city of Wuhan. More precisely speaking, we're at the Wuhan International Expo Center. Tomorrow is going to be the Space Day of China, and today we're actually taking you guys through an exhibition, an educational exhibition, so to speak, about China's journey over the past decades in terms of its space exploration. And here are all types of Long March series models that you see here. Just so you know, this is actually one part of the whole exhibition. For example, aside from this educational exhibition, there are actually achievements, the space exploration achievements exhibition right over there, about 4 or 5 minutes walk from this hall. And here we got a space science. It's another area for us to look at. So I'm going to briefly just briefing you guys on what it's all about. The space science focuses on dark matter and dark energy, black holes, and the origin of the universe, the origin of celestial bodies, and the origin of life in the universe. So in short, it's called 2 darks, 1 black, and 3 origins. And spacecraft are used as the main platform to study the science of physics, astronomy, chemistry, and life that occur in solar terrestrial space, interplanetary space, and even the whole cosmic space and their laws. China's research on space science focuses on scientific questions such as the origin and evolution of the universe and the relationship between the solar system and humanity. That's launched programs to explore space and conduct experiments, advanced research on basic theories, and incubated major research findings. So here from left to right are SJ-10 recoverable scientific experiment satellite, the dark matter particle explorer called Wukong, and Kuafu advanced space-based solar observatory satellite, and Tianqin-1 technology demonstration satellite. So by reviewing the remarkable year of 2023, China's space industry saw so many great achievements, such as the largest thrust 700-ton liquid rocket engine in Asia had successfully undergone testing and is now In operation, the Shenzhou 16 and Shenzhou 17 manned spaceflight missions were great successes, and the remote sensing 40 satellite was successfully launched as well, which will provide a more comprehensive and precise scientific basis for China's geological exploration, meteorological research, environmental protection. China's space development is set for an even busier 2024, as we can expect the launch of Chang'e 6, which is the first of Chang'e's Phase 4 lunar probe missions. The mission that would be a moon sample retrieval mission targeting the far side of the Earth's natural satellite. And China's manned space will see the launches of Shenzhou 18 and Shenzhou 19 crewed spaceflight missions. Well, as we can see, that China's journey to explore the universe started from scratch decades ago, and now, looking back, that's been a stunning, remarkable, amazing journey. I think more importantly for us, for all the viewers, we should carry forward that inspiration, that source of inspiration to go forward, because after all, that's the kind of motivation and energy that keeps us going forward. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. If you like our show, please don't forget to subscribe and like our show, and leave your comment down below. Your suggestions, your advices matter very much to us. We're going to leave it there and see you next time. Bye for now.